Hello Junior 4, I'm Miss Ayat. I come for you today with our new grammar lesson, which is past simple, affirmative, negative, and yes or no questions of regular verbs. Let's start. This tense represents any actions that started and ended in the past at a specific time before now. The past simple tense is used with the following time expressions, like yesterday, last night or month or year, 2 days, weeks, months, ago, then and when, in a specific year like 1992, 1875, etc. Well, how can we form past simple affirmative with regular verbs? To form the past simple of regular verbs, we have to add ed to the infinitive. The infinitive verb is the base form. We change it with adding ed of regular verbs. All subjects have the same form, like I worked, you worked, we worked, they worked, my parents worked, he worked, she worked, it worked, my mom worked, Ahmed worked. To form the verbs in past simple tense, you have to know some spelling rules. If you have the infinitive verb, you have to add ed, like walk, walked, wash, washed. But if the verb ends in e, you have to add only d, because there is an e at the end of the verb. Like dance, danced, smile, smiled. If the verbs ending in y, you have two rules. The first one, if the verb ends in vowel, then followed by y. The vowels letters are strong letters. You have to keep the y in the verb and just add ed. Like play, played, stay, stayed. Vowel letters are a, I, e, u, and o. The second rule, if the y comes before it a consonant letter. So the consonant letters are too weak. So you have to change the y and replace it with I, then add ed. Like carry, carried, study, studied. When the verb ends in consonant, vowel, then consonant, we double the last consonant and add ed only if the last syllable is stressed. Like stop, stopped. But if the last syllable isn't stressed, we don't double the last consonant. Like listen, listened. And when the verb ends in l, we double the l and add ed. Like travel, traveled. Examples: he walked to school yesterday. She surfed the internet 2 hours ago. They played on the stage last night. We visited our grandparents last week. In the negative form, we use the helping verb did, the word not, and the infinitive verb. For example, he didn't play the piano. He didn't play the piano yesterday. Important note here that in negative form, we don't change the verb. Remember that we have to put the verb after didn't in the base form. Examples: they didn't dance last night. You didn't work last Friday. We didn't study 2 days ago. She didn't visit her friends last week. In the question form, we use did and the infinitive verb. And with the short answers, we use did and we don't use the main verb. For example, did she clean the window yesterday? Yes, she did. Important here to remember, in yes or no questions, we don't change the verb. We just have to use the infinitive verb without any addition. Examples: did she comb her hair last night? Yes, she did, or no, she didn't. Did he brush his teeth yesterday? Yes, he did, or no, he didn't. Did you play karate last week? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Did I study English 2 days ago? Yes, you did. No, you didn't. Now it's time to practice. Open your booklet, page 89. Choose the correct answer between brackets. Number 1. My brother listens, is listening, or listened to music yesterday. The time expression here is yesterday in the past, so we have to choose the infinitive verb plus ed as the verb is regular verb. My brother listened to music yesterday. Number 2, my cousins didn't arriving late last night. Here, the time expression is in the past, last night, and the negative form is in the sentence. So we have to choose the infinitive verb after didn't. So the answer will be my cousins didn't arrive late last night. Number 3, are or have or did you study English last night? Here, the time expression of the question is last night in the past, so we have to choose the helping verb did, and the answer will be did you study English last night? Number 4, the boy dropped his pencil on the floor. Here we have to choose the helping verb. We have to choose ed, and before the ed we have to double the p as the verb ends in cvc, and the last syllable is stressed. So the answer will be number 3. The boy dropped his pencil on the floor. dropped. Number 5. Did you bringing some nice food for me? Here, the question yes or no is in the past. So we use did and the infinitive verb as we agreed. So the answer will be, did you bring some nice food for me? Put the verbs in the right form of the past simple regular. My cousin not explained the problem. Here we have to make the negative form of the past simple. So we will use the helping verb did plus not plus the verb in the infinitive form. You don't have to add anything to the verb. So the answer will be my cousin didn't explain the problem. Number 2, we stop outside the castle. Stop here is a regular verb, so we have to add just ed. But wait, this verb is ending in CVC, so we have to double the ending letter. So the answer will be we stopped outside the castle. Number 3, Maggie cleaned the balcony. Here we have to form yes or no question. So we have to start with the helping verb did and use the verb in the infinitive form. So the answer will be did Maggie clean the balcony? Remember that you don't have to add ed in the verb in the question. Number 4, I call you 4 times last week. Here call is regular verb, so you have to add ed to the verb. So it will be I called you 4 times last week. Number 5, Sally tidied the kitchen. Here tidy is ending with y, and before the y there is a consonant letter which is weak letter, so we have to eliminate and remove the y and replace it with I, then adding ed. So the answer will be Sally tidied the kitchen. Tidied, we will write it Tidied. Do as shown between brackets. Number 1, they opened the kitchen's window. Please add apostrophe and s after kitchen. So we have here to add not to the sentence and make it in the negative form. Before adding not, we have to use the helping verb did in the past. So it will be they didn't open the kitchen's window. Here, remember that you can't add ed to the verb after didn't. Number 2, did you traveled to Dubai last week? Correct. What do you think? We use did, and this is yes or no question. Yes, good guess. You can't add ed to the verb in the question, yes or no question. So the answer will be did you travel to Dubai last week? You have to erase the ed from traveled. Number 3, the baby cries every night. Use last night. Last night is an expression used in the past simple, and the original sentence is in the present simple. So we have to remove every night and replace it with last night and change the form of the verb. Here the verb take es after replace the y with I, so we will add ed after replace the y with I. So the answer will be the baby cried last night. Cried, we will write it as cried. Thank you for listening. Please do your homework and we will send to you the model answer.